I love it. You help me a lot. You help me a lot. Thank you so much. Always giving me support, the support that I need. So thank you so much. Lesson number 10, we will be talking about diversity and inclusion. Just 5 weeks left. So everybody in Turbo. In this week, we don't have activity like we always do. It's just to answer a discussion, one question. It's one question divided into parts. I'm going to read it to you now. Some of you did it, like Almas has 9. I'm using my memory. Uh, I'm using again my memory, but I think Mohamed Al Mamoun, he did it, if I'm not mistaken, and some of you did it also. I am not sure if Shannon, I'm gonna say it later because I don't wanna use my memory right now, because I don't wanna forget any of you. I think Nasma Jasmine also, she did it. So yeah, for my ones that already answered the question for this week, congratulations. I'm gonna say your names now. And that's all we have to do. If you don't send it today, sometimes you ask me, but what about if you don't send, I don't send today? No, you don't have to send today. As soon as you send it, it's perfect. Remember, the semester is over April 21st, so we don't want nobody late on this. If you have some comments to give me, question or situation that you want to share, diversity in organization, chapter 12, something that you like to share. Almas has 9. Thank you so much. Sana, Nasma Yasmin, Salman Sadruddin, also Alpesh Nasarali Samnani, Mo Desat, Shabir, and Danish, Amida, Juan Clesia, and I don't want to miss anybody. Nasma Salim, I think I said it. Larissa Lacani, all of you did it. The discussion. So, yes. So now you're going to have your grade. Some of you don't have it yet, so have me patient because I'm going to put your grade. The question for this week is, I'm going to put it on the chat so you can be ready. Describe challenge that manager must face when managing diversity, and what are some recommendations that you have to manage the diversity. Let me copy here. Fatima says, teacher have some problems with her Wi-Fi. She wanted to say Wi-Fi. So this is the question. This is the question here for this week. It's just a discussion, like you usually do in all the courses, discussion. Okay, so you don't have to answer right now with me. You don't gonna lose point if you answer later, but answer the question, please. Just answer and give me some effort in this question. Like I can see at least one paragraph with 5 sentences, some sustainable arguments that I can see. Okay, he or she reads something, he or she knows what it's doing. It's not copying me from Google. Anything is thinking what it's saying. It's not difficult at all. So you don't have to use any copy from anywhere. You can just read, and also remember, this is very important in the future. I don't want you to have any kind of situation, because when we extract something exactly as the place, is called plagiarism, and it's usually in some schools they give you 0, they make you report, and if you do like 2-3 times, they kick you out of the school forever. So we don't want that. This doesn't happen here, but don't do it, because yes, for your development. Okay, so diversity. I'm gonna show you the content for diversity. If you have to say something, please tell me. Interrupt me, say something anytime you want. Put it on the chat. What else? You don't have comments for me today. Nothing. No stories. No nothing. Okay. First. If you wanna make me a story or tell me something, you can say it anytime. So there was one day a little girl that says to the father that doesn't find purpose on anything, and she was like so depressed and sad, and the father was chef in a restaurant. So the father took the girl to the restaurant, right? And he put 3 pots in the stove. And he put an egg in a stove. He put coffee, a spoon of coffee in the water, and then he put a carrot in another one. So he got 3, and everything start to boil. Bam, 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 bam. Everything start to boil, right? So when everything boiled, was so hot, right? Then when they finish, the water for the coffee, how do you think it was? Completely brown, all brown because the coffee it's integrated with the water. The egg was hard because the egg is uh, is gonna get hard with the water, right? The egg is liquid and it's gonna change. And then the carrot will be so flexible, so right, fluffy, because it's a carrot. It's gonna be cooked. So the father asked to the girl, "What you decide to be? You decide to be the carrot that is already weak because the hot water, or maybe the egg because it's hard for the hot water, for the boiling water, or you want to be like the coffee that is integrated with this water, and now the water becomes part of the coffee. Now it's coffee that you can drink. So you decide what you want to be. In the terms of diversity, you want to be uh, affected in your values, like the carrot, because everything is different in this boiling water, or you want to be so hard like the egg. I don't want to get into this. I don't like this. I hate this. Or you want to be like the coffee that is integrated with the water, and now everything tastes better because this coffee, right? So how do you want to be? You want to be somebody integrated in the society that you belong, or you want to complain because I'm immigrant, because my accent, because I don't know well English, because I am a student, because I don't have enough resources, because I have 3 children, because I have a husband or wife, etc., etc., etc. I also hear another argument that says, "Oh, it's because I study overseas and it's not the same here." Really? You think so? You think what you study in India or Brazil or Pakistan or other country, you think this is not the same here? Are you sure? Are you sure that the knowledge that you bring me from India, from Brazil, from Pakistan, from Vietnam, from Thailand, from all of those countries, pretty, that you belong, eh, South America, Colombia, and other countries that I have here, Hispanics, do you think this knowledge, all of this experience, all of this multicultural background, all of these people that you met overseas, do you think this is not worth it? Are you sure? Because I don't think so. I think that all of those experiences that you bring me from overseas are gold. Gold, listen to me, are gold. When you have in this head is gold. Nobody from this country can have the richness that you have in those brains. They don't know. They don't have idea how is the life overseas. They don't have idea how is the life in Guatemala, El Salvador, Costa Rica, Mexico, India, Pakistan, Brazil. They don't have idea. And you have idea. And you meet people from other countries in your country. You came to this country. You start from zero, from scratch with nothing. And now you are here. Wow, this is amazing. This is diversity. This is inclusion. This is to be strong, really strong. So every time you find yourself Hey, thank you, Iglesia, for my applauses. Those applauses are for you people because you have treasures in your hearts and in your minds. And sometimes you don't know, and sometimes you don't believe that you have. And don't forget that you have. Even if you don't believe it, say it in front of the mirror. I'm strong, I'm powerful, I'm smart, I can do it. I'm strong, I'm powerful, I have a purpose, I'm gonna go for it. Don't believe it. Maybe some days you're gonna wake up depressed that you want to be. Some days that's happening. But, 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 this talk. Don't forget this part because remind to yourself that you did it and you will do it again if you have to. And you will be successful in all the commitments and all the purpose and all the business, all the organizations, that, or every project that you want to develop, personal or professional, spiritual in your life. You will do it. And you are doing now. You are doing now. So diversity and inclusion, let's come back. This is part of the class because I have to make you strong in your mind, and then I can make you strong in business or strong with the team that you help, all of that. So here, uh, I have somebody giving me hard time here. Wait a second. Okay. So let's come back to the I'm here, I'm not leaving. This dog have something, this animal have something today. Okay, let me share my screen with you real quick. Okay, we are here, people. Comments that you have, something that
Hello,
you want to.
ma'am.
Yes, hello. Woo.
Hi, how are you?
I was so inspired, but you just came, so now I cannot. But I'm recording, so everything will be on the system for you. And yes,
I
that's
read your message, but I'm
yes.
little bit confused uh, even after the message.
Don't confuse. I was talking about that too when we start. Just take what is convenient for you right now.
Okay,
Just
so
take what is
my,
convenient.
my question is just a moment. All right, ma'am, my question is that so there is a course, one is elective, one is general, and one is core. So does it matter, like if I take like all general or all elective? I mean, how does it make a difference? Because I'm going to learn 3 hours for every subject that I select, and at the end I will get 120 credits for those. So that's why I'm trying to understand that. Uh, okay. Uh, so that was my question, ma'am. That what should I do with that?
Nothing. You don't have to worry. Because what happened? Once you take all of these general courses, mathematics, or let's say you took algebra, sociology, psychology, organizational behavior, principle of management, all of these courses, you will have more options to do the rest. So there is no way you will say, oh, I have 120 credits just for general course. No, I cannot graduate. No, it's not going to happen because once you are done, you will have more options. Like I share with you, actually, I share something with you that is not official, but I share with you how it's looking the schedule, how what I'm proposing for all of you for the next semester. I did it a little bit early and I show it to you so I can see what is your opinion, what is your, um, what is your thinking on this. But let me give you an example. You have Monday, 9 a.m. next semester. Let's imagine that we're going to enroll 9 you want Monday, but you will have at 9 a.m. the following option. One, human resource management. This is a core course. It's core.
Okay.
It's a core. When you see in the schedule, it's
Yeah.
a core.
Okay.
So, okay, but you don't think on this because that's going to make you. So you have survey of the Bible. The school is Christian and requires two Bible. Okay. But let's say I have human resource and I had Bible. I don't need this. Okay, you had it already. You also have business communication one. You can tell me I had this. Okay, I don't want to have it again because you don't want to have it again. Fine.
Okay.
But you have financial statement analysis. This is a class that almost nobody, actually, none of the students is here. I think they have it. So you have this course, financial statement analysis, but you will have real estate finance with Professor Tuan Nguyen. So this class, nobody here, actually, nobody in the school have this class because it's new. So you will have this option to take these courses. These courses, as you can see, they have a code. They have a code. The course that have 100, they are usually for a start. Then when you see 300, like those courses here, they are 300 level.
Okay.
They are more advanced.
So
If
my
you take the more advanced or take the 100, for me, it's not a problem. I want that you take the 100 first. Yes, I want it. It's the logical of the program. But if
okay.
you say, I want financial statement, okay. But in
Ma-
certain moment, you will need to take.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. So
because you
what I
don't
was
have more
thinking is
options.
that I know this list is not yet official, and because I read all the messages, and that's why I wrote in reply to that, because I was confused if I should take elective, core, or general. Because let's say if I want to take two elective or three elective and one core.
Do it. Do it. Don't worry.
Okay, all right,
Do
okay.
it.
And
Don't stress.
when will we get the final list? I mean, official list for the subjects with the professor? Because you said some professor might change. That's
You
why.
know what? Actually, I'm talking with you, and some teachers are confirming. So this is gonna be. Or if we don't
Kind of.
have any change, that's kind of the final.
Okay, all right. So I know
Because
how
I
to
have
start.
been working with the teachers, like I need this time. Can you give me? Can you give me? Can you? You know, I'm
Yeah,
pushing,
yeah.
pushing. So actually, my schedule is pretty fine,
Okay,
pretty fine.
okay. So I will choose your subjects. That's all I wanted to know. Thank you so much.
Yeah, but again, remember that as I always tell everybody, I want that you have the diversity, the variety, like
Yeah.
the topic today. And for example, we take those courses like algebra that you
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
don't, some of you doesn't like. We need, we're gonna have algebra Monday and calculus Tuesday, but
No
if
problem, ma'am.
if you don't take this, let's see, you have basic college writing one. You have web computing and business intelligence. This is a course that you never have here in Reforme. And now we're going to have it. And it's part of your
Okay,
program. It's an elective, but it's
okay,
counted.
okay.
Everything you take here counts. That's what
All
the
right,
message
ma'am.
I want to tell you. Like, if
Okay.
you take courses and then I'm going to tell you, no, this course, you waste your money. No, it's not going to happen because every course counts for your graduation. And yes, you will have innovative classes. I'm so happy. And you will have nice teachers.
All
So
right, ma'am. Thank you so much.
you're welcome. For web computing, you will have Professor Altea Wright or Altea. So she's giving class now and she's having nice results. So I expect that you have also the same opinion and you can take classes. You will have a lot of diversity of teachers, talking about diversity because this is our topic today. And you will have persons from the United States, other countries, so you can have this taste from everywhere. That's the reason of this class today. Like you can have this, and this diversity help us to take better decision, to have more better ideas. Because you again, as I was telling you, you bring all this richness to the community, which make it different when we have a organizational environment that promotes the diversity and the inclusion. Diversity and inclusion. Listen to this word. Diversity means like we can say we are a diverse group, people from everywhere. But inclusion means that every single part of this group is engaged with the group. It feels welcome, feels included. Because we can have a group with people from everywhere, but if they don't feel the inclusion, or we can have people with all the preference, all the profiles, but if they don't feel included, part of the organization, so now we have a lack of administration skills here because the community is not feeling included. So that's something we're gonna see in this week, in this chapter. Something else, worries, concerns, complaints that you have. I don't gonna take you forever today, just a little bit. Let me show you something real quick. I'm not sharing my screen yet, no. Okay, but I will do in a few seconds. In the meantime, if you wanna say something, if you are worried about something, let me know. I'm taking a little bit of time here, but this is long. Let me see. I'm almost there. I'm there already. Yes, yes. So you can find everything in the lesson 10. And also you have a small presentation in the top, and I'm going to share something with you. Remember what I put on the chat? It's the question for the discussion this week. That's what I put on the chat. Okay. And this is the topic. Look at this. I always like to refer to the material because I find it's more, I don't know, is it better, but you let me know. So diversity and inclusion, that's what I mentioned when we have a difference in the organization. So those type difference will be identity groups. So how they identify themselves. Managing diversity is what we were explaining, managing these different perspectives or backgrounds or origins or ages or sex, gender, all of this, right? But if we, for example, have a situation like we don't manage diversity in an effective way, we will have a situation with the inclusion, like the people doesn't feel part of the organization. Remember this part. One thing is to have a diverse group with people from different perspectives, etc. But if they don't feel like they are part of this group, engaged with this group, now we are talking about inclusion. Again, when we say surface level diversity means the things that are clear, they are diverse. For example, how the person looks. Those are things that the people, can use as a reference. Pay attention because it's not but it can use as a reference. For example, you see this person is Hispanic for the way it looks, and then when I speak, of course, is from Hispanic, right? So because the accent and the same happens with us, okay? But again, remember there is something we call a stereotype. So we're gonna see this in the chapter. A stereotype, like you can say, okay, the people that have this look is like this. The people that have other look is like that. You understand me. You understand me because we are immigrant here and we kind of live with all of this. But that's why I was giving you the story of the coffee and the egg and the carrot, because you will decide what you want to choose. If you want to be a victim of the system or being part of the system and say, hey, these characteristics that I have will makes me unique, makes me different, makes me with value in the society, any kind of society that I belong. And there is, many stories about people that have made of their weaknesses the most important characteristics that give them success. And I know you have stories on that. If you want to share anytime, some people that turn their weaknesses into something that makes them unique and different in the society that they are. You can think about many artists that they usually say, oh, when I was a child, I was considered this, and that. And now this thing that made them weak when they were younger now make them different, stronger, because they have changed the mindset, people. Hidden diversity, what is that? So hidden are some things that the people have in their characteristics that are not visible, like the preference in the sexuality, etc. Okay, some things are, let's say, high. Okay, so that is the same. Those characteristics are called invisible social identities. What is that again? Is the first one, the first that I mentioned you, the hidden diversity is include the invisible social identity. So it's the consequence. Let's put it this way, so everybody can understand. We don't want to make any activity with those words, but it's good that we have a kind of idea or knowledge. Okay, so diversity and the workplace. You can tell me if you want, with one word, what do you think this is important or useful for the organization? Remembering all of the things that we have been talking since we started, you can mention this. One word is enough. You can say it or put it on the chat. What do you think this diversity helps? Maybe you think it's not uh, helpful for the organization. You can say why it can be negative also. You can say what you think. Glass ceiling. What is that? Glass ceiling. That means like in some organizations, you will find, especially on the gender, that they have a limit. This is glass ceiling, a limit for growing. Like you are a lady, that's all that you're gonna get and buy. And you're not gonna grow anything more than that. So why we need to know all of this? Because again, make sure when we detect these kind of circumstances in the organization, we can say, hey, something's going on here. I can help to make this better. Can I have opportunity to educate or maybe change the environment that we are facing now? It's always a way that we can help. And even if you say, yes, but I'm not the leader, I'm not the owner, I'm not the president, I'm not the CEO, it doesn't matter. There is always something, maybe it's tiny, you think it's tiny, but we can contribute in different ways. The comments, people, that we make sometimes, usually nowadays, like today, like in this week, I see things in many places that I say, wow, we are still handling this kind of comments. We're still handling this kind of situation. But again, there is always something we can do. And here what you are looking on the screen is some statistics of the distribution of the opportunities for gentlemen and ladies. Everybody knows there is not a secret. It's not a secret that some, let's say, certain communities have more favorable scenario than others. It's not a secret, and that's why we need to have some information about this sexual harassment. Sexual harassment, as I was telling you again, until today, we still having situations. The most affected are women by statistics, but also men are impacted by sexual harassment. Here you will see a picture of Tamara Johnson. She was, or she has been working with this, advocate of this cause. I was showing you in another opportunity the EEOC, but I'm gonna say that again because why? Because it's part of this class, Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. So again, I'm gonna mention that again because they take care of the cases that are about if you consider that your company or you have not been treated equal, or if you want as administrator, manager, business owner, president, CEO, make sure that your company is in compliance. You can request help or guidance or materials from U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. If we learn all of this, if we have contact or we have, let's say we have contact with these concepts or contact with these entities, organization, it doesn't matter where we live. If we decide to go overseas in 1 year, it doesn't matter where you live. But if you have this foundation, you will do a better job and you will have better performance. It doesn't matter which country you are. Right now, because we are here, we are talking about the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, but this is information that never die. Let's say it this way, never die. It doesn't matter where you are located. That's why I always interested that you have knowledge that works for you. It doesn't matter which part of the world you are. So yes, if you wanted to take notes of this EEOC again, don't forget race is another variable that is impacted by diversity and inclusion. And you know the Black African community has been the one in this country that receive impact in this area, no, in terms of discrimination, let's say this way. So, but if you feel or you want to share something, some stories that you have, please say it. I have I have my like a little personal opinion on all of this. Maybe the way I see the things are so flexible, but I think that the way if we keep coloring, giving color to all of this. So, for example, the other day I saw so educated person, African American, that says, I have to put my boy aware that discrimination exists. He have to know. And he's always pushing with that. I think to myself, as soon as we keep with this thing, it's worse for the children that are growing up. Why? The way I see the things is like, instead of saying then there is discrimination, you have to be careful. Again, it's like changing the dialogue that we have. Instead of that, we are equal, you're strong with the qualities that you have. You just have to, work hard. There is, maybe I have a so positive mindset that is not the best. You can use your own style also. And I always promote that you are doing everything with your style because nobody will do like you and you do perfect. But instead of promoting the negative, I think it's the opposite because we're gonna keep with this all the time. There is racism, people is racist. But no, the opposite information. So I don't know, long story, right? I don't know if this is something, but let's keep going and then you can tell me what do you think. More information about, groups that receive some kind of, they are in, let's say, weak position sometimes in the society. I don't like to, I don't want to say that. Hispanics are considered like a group, um, again, the same. So the way I see it is like that. People tell me, and I used to say that, oh, because I'm a mother here by myself in this country, oh, because I look like this, because I have this accent. And there is one day that I say, you know what? No, this is not the approach. The approach is these things that I think makes me weak, makes me strong. Yeah, this is my accent. Yes, this is my accent. So what? I speak like that. Sofia Vergara is very successful and she speak like that, and that's it. You see, and many, and let's talk about India, because I was talking about the Oscar last, and I don't follow movies, I don't follow Oscar, but I just noticed that a huge community of India receives how you say that, the prize, the Oscar, right? A huge community here in this country with so imagine how the world is changing, diversity and inclusion. So what maybe they think consider them weak because it's another culture, you know what, that makes them stronger, and the people got crazy for them here and they got Oscars, and other citizens from other countries, Asian countries that I don't know exactly the name of the country, so forgive me, but yeah, got this. So for me, this is a win. This is a win for the world, not only for India or for other Asian countries, for the world, because the world is being open. And that's the message I think I got from this. And I'm not a movie person, I'm not Oscar person, I don't follow entertainment at all. But yeah, age is another discrimination that you can find. In this country, I see this is it's different. For example, in my country, when I was 20, I have to make believe the people that I was older, because they have this situation with when you are young and looking for opportunities. Here, I think things change. Things are, in this case, I find here is sexual orientation. So when you say passing, it's because the people don't put importance on that and rebelling, and they actually say their preference, and it's public and everybody knows. So again, we have the basic foundation on all of this is the respect, because what is gonna make you worse and better because you prefer blue or you prefer red? So at the end is that, okay, but this is my opinion, okay? You can have your own belief, and this is delicate topic. So work visa, immigrant workers, some of us are in this position even if we don't have formally work visa. Some companies are dedicated to that, to give service to immigrant workers that they usually come here. In Alpharetta, we have again a huge community from India. They are experts in technology. I know I always talk about that, but it's something that it's here in Alpharetta. And I saw companies that give the community support, guidance to find new homes, all of that. So this is amazing. I find this service awesome. So that's why I always speak about that. This is something you can do by yourself, okay? If for a future business ideas, giving service to immigrant workers, because you know how it is, and you understand the community overseas, plus you understand how is the transition. And those are business ideas that you can, or business positions that you can develop, because you know how to do all of that. Diversity and its impact in companies. So all of these variety give us flexibility, problem solving, creativity. So this is part of your assignment, of the question I put you in the chat. One of the question is, I'm using my memory, but it say how the challenge that managers will face and recommendations. I think you can find these words as an explanation how it helps in the organization also. But tell me what you have in your mind. Cost advantage, resource acquisition. Those points that you see on the screen are talking about how the diversity impacts all of these parts, okay? So marketing, I'm going to stop in marketing for one reason, because as soon as we have diverse population in our organization, we can reach our customer. The statistics says that as soon as we have diverse population, the customer will be attracted. Imagine if we have in Reformed University an admissions officer from India, an admissions officer from Brazil, an admissions officer Hispanic, or from Pakistan. Imagine how beautiful, how amazing, or from Korea, from Vietnam, how amazing you will feel if you have somebody from your own country, and you can say, "Hi, me Reformed," because you can do this so easy, right? So things to think about. And thinking about ideas, groupthink. Groupthink is something that will happen when we have a group like now. Some ideas will be, let's say, repeated, or maybe I will influence one of you with my ideas, or maybe you will influence us with some of your ideas. So it becomes a group think, like everybody is on the same direction. So this is what happened with the group think. Tell me if you have something. So human resource management, strategic human resource management is HRM. I'm going to tell you because this is HRM, I think it's GOV. Society for Human Resource Management is here. Yeah, I knew it was correct. It's .org. This is an organization for human resource management. You can join. You can join, be a member, or you can go to their activities that they do. I have been in some activities they do, and they prepare conferences. Those are good opportunities to share with others, and they promote the diversity and the inclusion. That's why the book is mentioning them. But I wanted to show you their webpage so you can visit that if you want to be part, or go to some events that will connect you with people and connect you with these new tendencies or the new ways to do the things in business. So that's something I wanted to show you real quick. The strategic human resource management. Okay. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. I know you are happy at this time of the day. Diversity, almost done. So diversity and organizational performance, there is not, I see that a lot of people is doing this activity now, so that's good. Diversity and organization performance, in simple words, the organization that is diverse, statistics are saying that it's more productive, is more innovative, it's more connected with the customer, employees feel more welcome if it's managed properly, it can be a beautiful place to be. Let's say this way, it can be a great place to be. It can decrease the absenteeism. It can maintain people in the organization if we manage effectively. Because if we don't manage this part effectively, those are the things that can happen. And pay attention to this part, or take picture to this part of the book, because that helps you also with your question for the activity 10. Why? Because challenge on diversity is the question that you have to answer. So what are the challenges? What are not the nice things that we will find? Lower organizational attachment. What that means? Like, I'm not from here. I'm working in this organization that I don't feel is part of my culture, part of myself. I am also maybe wanting to come back to my, so many things interfere when those are the challenge, remember, the negative parts, let's say this way. So it doesn't mean that it's gonna be like that every time. It's just that can happen. When the employees are not very engaged with the organization, they feel lower attachment because it's not my place, let's say this way. It's not my country, it's not I don't feel welcome, so all of that. And legal challenge and diversity, what is that? Reverse discrimination. What is that? For example, we have a group here, and what about if let's say, most of you are from certain place, like majority of you belong to certain country, right? So if I include people from overseas in the group, this is an example, maybe some of the members will feel discriminated because I am trying to be so diverse, and they doesn't feel good. Let's say this way. So reverse discrimination, like you are trying so hard to make a group for everybody, but some parts of the group will feel affected. It's weird, but it's not common. Or actually, it's not common. It's kind of confusing. Like people is not happy because we have diversity. Yes, it's called reverse. And the statistics say here is something that is not common. So you let me know. Workplace discrimination. We mentioned this part that the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission is the one that manages or let's say, promotes that the law for equal opportunity has been applied. Let's put it this way. So discrimination doesn't need too much a huge explanation, but it's when some parts of the community, of the organization, doesn't feel they are receiving mistreatment because their condition, their race, or any characteristics that we discuss, age, country of origin, etc., etc. So many laws has been created to protect that, and you will see now harassment. We mentioned that, okay, and the sexual harassment. You can see on the screen. I think it's too tiny the way I have it here. So now I put it bigger. So harassment you see on the screen, based on usually the gender, right? Discrimination by age. Okay, something else, disability, discrimination. So those are factors that have been dealing with American with Disabilities Act, ADA. I don't know how you call it, but laws created to protect disability. So you see, when you are applying for a job, you will find sometimes announcement about disability. National origin discrimination. We mentioned something, right? Pregnancy discrimination. It happened. I think that happened to me in the past. When I was waiting for my kids, I was looking for jobs. Long story, right? So anyway, the employees don't want to commit because they say this woman is gonna leave soon anyway. So here is different because they don't, the pregnant women are not very protected like overseas. They don't receive payment. Usually, if they leave, it depends. But we have, for that reason, we have the Family and Medical Leave Act, FMLA. And I was showing you in the last class the information about Department of Labor, DOL.gov. They take care of the Family and Medical Leave Act. Remember, to do that, you need the medical records, the medical letter that says that we cannot work, and they give you 12 weeks. Okay, 12 weeks free like a bird to take care of your health. Race, color discrimination, another religious discrimination is not going to happen anymore, right? But yes, we are studying this because those things still happen, right? That's why. sex-based discrimination based on the gender of the person. Here you will see some laws created to protect these groups. Okay, you see on the screen that some of the laws that we mentioned. Okay, so covert discrimination, what is that? Covert discrimination, like discrimination that is height. Let's say it's height. Gracias. So it's legally showing that they are including diversity, that they are with the diversity and inclusion, but really there is some discrimination against the people. So that's why we are doing this, to not allow this, right? Help on that. And that's it. That's in general. Oh, what else I have here? Let me see if I'm missing something. Similarly, attraction. So what we are seeing right now, some theories that they support the diversity and inclusion. The social cognitive theory, what that means? That means that all of this richness that I always talking about you, all of this knowledge that you have, make the organization better, stronger. That's what it's saying in general. A stereotype, we mentioned that. A stereotype, like I say, people that looks like this is like that. So for example, I always give you the story. People look at me, they say, oh, you are from the Caribbean, you are Dominican, you know how to dance. And I say, no, I don't know how to dance at all. So it's stereotypes. This is a funny story, but stereotypes means that, we put categories in people that because the way they are, or the way they look, maybe, or their origin, they are like that. And not necessarily, okay? Not necessarily. So avoid this in your mind. Avoid this. What else? What else that? Sometimes I get it in blank. Okay, social identity theory is like, this one is regarding that sometimes, depending the situation, the diversity can have negative outcome. Maybe we can see favoritism. Sometimes look at what happened. And this is me on the class. Some of you say in the past, this professor has preference with this group. You say that from me. So I say, okay, I want, like I think to myself, do I having this? Oh my goodness, I didn't know. So what I do is like, I try to change, but I say, but now I'm going against my other people because I'm trying to go to other sides, So that can happen with all of us. And my goal is to show you that I appreciate all of you the same way, because that's the way I see it. And my ones that have children, they will understand me. When you have children, even if some children are tough, they give you a hard time, you love them all. It doesn't matter what they do. So that's the goal I have as a faculty, right? So the same with you. In your organizations and in your positions that you develop, in your temples, in your churches, in all your groups, in your families, or jobs that you are working with. Also, this theory that you're seeing on the screen, schema theory, it's explaining, for my opinion, the same that stereotype. So it's explaining like sometimes people make judgment based on the appearance or the look of the people. That's it. Justification suppression model. Again, explaining, for example, oh my goodness, a lot of concept here, right? I get like, okay, justification suppression model. Sometimes people, it's the same like the prejudice. When you have prejudice with races, that you feel some situations about other races. That's in general. Yes. So, in general, benefits and challenges for workplace diversity. That can help you with the assignment too. And three perspectives, the integration and learning perspective is the same that we mentioned, like all of the variety in the workplace that the diversity brings helps to integrate and learning in the organization. This is the same over and over, so we are done with this. So cultural perspective at work, discrimination and fairness, access and legitimacy, integration and learning, the same, the benefits of this. Uh, So that's one solution. One solution. Let's put attention to this little part here. So one solution that we have in order to avoid all of this stereotype, all of these things that we put in our mind is, for example, to provide interviews that are structured. Like we don't go to any place that we don't have to go. For example, I'm gonna give you a personal story. When I told you when I was younger, I moved from my island, that is Dominican Republic, to the next island, which is Puerto Rico. So over there is some concerns with Dominicans. They usually say Dominicans are not educated. They say many things about us, right? So when I was in this interview with looking for a job in this country, they used to say, in another words, that my education was not at the level that they have in their country. And I know it's not true. Then I didn't know at that time. I was 21 years old, but 22. But now I know how it is, right? So those are things that happen. Highly structured interviews is the way that you solve this problem, like to have interviews that are set up and nobody officially cannot attack somebody from other country or preference or any other thing. Right? So diversified mentoring relationships, what is that? To promote an environment where we can have, again, diversity and inclusion in the relationship with our our employees. Okay, so that's why I was speaking to you, some companies that are dedicated to that, to give mentoring guidance to international employees. And this is in general, all of the chapter. I go through all the chapter usually, but yes. Comments, maybe scary stories that you have, something. I'm gonna take my people here, my attendance. Equally, I'm gonna use the alphabetical order, so I don't discriminate with anybody that like I usually do. Comments that you have, maybe you have some. I'm going to stop recording because the assignment for today, let me show you before I stop recording. I'm going to show you my, again, I know I did it, but I'm going to do it again. What is the activity for this week? Week 10, complete the activity. It's here. I'm going to show you. You click on the week 10, complete the activity, and what you will see is this. The question is, describe the challenge that manager must face when managing diversity. And what are some recommendations to manage diversity? You remember the challenge that we say, the different ideas that they can be, some people of the group can be, let's say, upset with the changes, with the diversity, different ideas, different cultures. You mentioned that in your discussion, different languages. So all of that impact on the challenge that the manager must face. Explain a little bit, explain one paragraph, at least 5 sentences, so you can have better results and don't lose any points, and make me happy too. And also say some recommendation that you think we can do to manage diversity. You remember that we mentioned to have a structured interviews. You remember that we mentioned the mentoring programs. Okay, so all of these maybe we can suggest to develop activities, engagement activities with the team. Okay, so remember in you are not in this case. In leadership, we also mentioned to ask for advice to your same employees. So ask advice to them, what we can do, and make them participate. Participative leadership, something we mention a lot in the leadership class. Make them be part of the change. Make your team be part of the change, and then you can have better results. Who knows, right? But yeah, the statistical proof that when we have an environment where the employees feel more committed, we have more productivity. That's what we find in the statistics. So that's what we have to do this week. Just that you answer this in the discussion and you are done and free of this, like a bird. I'm gonna stop the recording for now. And that's it. I'm going to take my attendance. But in the meantime, I would like to know if you have something for me, if you have comments, questions, something. My first on my list is Abul Kachem. I also have Almas. I have Almas has 9. And Almas Nurudin. Question people that you have. Hi. Comments, something, complaints, diversity, comments, something that you find in your jobs that is interesting in diversity. I can tell you many interesting stories in diversity. Maybe stories that you know, I don't know. Isha, I have Amida, I have Lauren. I also have Mayra. I also have here Mohamed Al-Mamoun. What else, people? The comments that you have, situation. Meet Chatnika, Micha. I have
Yes, ma'am.
Modesa. You know, I don't say your, thank you, Cha. Micha. I don't say your names pretty like you said it. But you forgive me and correct me if I need it. Nuruddin Lalani here is on my list. I
It's okay,
have
ma'am. So
I think
for pronouncing my name wrong, you can get me some discount next semester in the fees, and I can forgive you after that.
I knew you're gonna give me something, but yeah, that's good. That's good. Eh,
Yeah, because the fees are really high.
the fees are high.
Yeah.
Um,
So, ma'am, I'm sorry. I know you are taking attendance. After it is over, I will ask you some question.
yes, I'm gonna stay here. I'm not leaving. Okay, so I have Salman, I have Sana, I have Shana. Who else need to tell me something? Comments that you have, scary stories, and happy stories. I want happy stories. Juan Clesia is on my list, and Shabnan, Sana, and I saw Jacqueline Mayumi, but she's left. Jacqueline Mayumi, I saw her a few seconds ago. Sana, tell me, I hear you.
Yes, ma'am. When I moved to USA, initially I observed that staring eyes due to the color of my skin and the way of my dressing up. But now in 2023, maybe a wide spreading of the knowledge through